What's up, everybody? It's Josh, and we need to talk about the video game announcements from D23. D23 is a big convention for all the Disney IP. It's going on today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and we have our first taste of cool stuff going on with the video game panel. Now, here's the deal. Let's just get this right out of the way. A lot of people not happy right now, and we'll start there, and then we'll go into some of the cool announcements and the things that I'm actually excited about from this presentation here. But despite having frames and shots of Spider-Man 2, the next Insomniac Spider-Man game, and having shots of Jedi Fallen Order 2, neither one of those games was touched on at all during this presentation. And there were a lot of people really excited to see stuff like that. I think those are the two biggest hyped up games coming out for Marvel, including maybe that Wolverine game as well. So look, man, people were very pissed off about that. They were really upset that no Fallen Order stuff was talked about or mentioned in this showcase as well. So that is what it is. On top of that, there were a lot of other like really weird, goofy Disney titles, an exclusive for Nintendo Switch, a weird Mario Kart ripoff with Disney characters, which, could be cool or whatever. But the bottom line is, man, a lot of people were not excited about this presentation. I'd have to give Marvel an A for effort here because they kept it short and sweet. I felt like the host was actually pretty decent, and they kind of moved through and did go through a lot of interesting things with world premieres, breakdowns of when games are happening. But overall, man, kind of can't believe they didn't talk at least a little bit about those big games. Like, even if you didn't have anything to really share, I would have just talked about them a little bit. But then again, maybe people would have been upset about that either way. But now let's get into what was actually talked about. And the first thing they talked about was this Midnight Suns game. Now, look, I actually am excited for this game, but I do think that a lot of people are not loving the card mechanics in the game. So it's something like an RPG where you will use different cards that you collect throughout the game to do different moves, okay? So it's kind of interesting, right? And even this trailer is a mix of cinematic stuff and stuff from the game. So this appears to be what the game looks like here. You got different health. This is your Blade character, different move sets, and you're using different cards to do moves. So it's something like a card builder 3D over-the-top RPG. I mean, I'm still excited for the game. A lot of people in the chat during the stream were not loving this. I still think it's cool. I'm going to play this one, and I am excited for it. I think the skins, the design, the story all seem really cool. And as a person that's a fan of top-down RPGs, like, I don't really see that much of a difference in what's going on here and your, regular top-down RPG like a Baldur's Gate 3 or something like that. So I'm excited for this game, but I did notice in chat, a lot of people were like, what? Cards? I'm not liking it. And that's, kind of weird to me, but it is what it is, okay? And they did announce, by the way, for that game, that's coming out in December, okay? So it was delayed, and then I believe kind of quietly delayed again in this presentation. Like, I think it was originally supposed to come out in September, then they delayed it to October. Now they seem to have delayed it all the way until December. So I don't know. That's not necessarily a good sign, not necessarily a deal breaker either, but they did talk about that. Yeah, so yeah, and they're doing like prequel shorts or whatever, dropping them. They talked about Strike Force, but honestly, who really cares about it? I know there are people that like the game, but in general, that game has been out for a long time. Not, too many people super hyped up about that. But Apocalypse is pretty cool. Now, I do want to stop and talk about this game right here, okay? Marvel Snap. And I saw a bunch of people in the chat being buttholes about this, and they were like, oh, no, cards and mobile game, and they just hated it. Here's the thing. Maybe you've heard me talk about Marvel Snap if you've been to some of the streams and whatnot. I love Marvel Snap. I'm actually playing it right now, okay? It's in beta currently, and I absolutely love this game. It's a really fun card game designed by Ben Brode, who is one of the guys that created Hearthstone. So if you ever played Hearthstone, it's a very popular digital card game. They know their stuff. And I will just tell you right now, the design in this game is absolutely incredible. The gameplay aspect of it is top-notch, bar none, amazing. One of the best card games I've ever played, and I mean that. The progression system and how you get cards is not the best, and I'm hoping that they further adjust that before the game officially releases, but has a strong community already. I love the game. I highly recommend you check it out when it comes out in October. I believe October 18th is the official release date for Marvel Snap. And I mean, dude, the game's so fun from the collecting perspective, but really, it just has incredible fundamentals. The gameplay for this game is so good. And you can pre-register now, and officially launches on the 18th of October. Now, they next went on to talk about a bunch of stuff that I just really don't think too many people care about, including the Mario Party game, a Toy Story Explorer game that's already been established, new characters for a Disney MOBA that's going on called Infinity or something like that. But then they actually dropped something that I think is quite freaking fantastic, a new Marvel game, which is set during World War II, it would appear. You're going to be fighting Hydra. And the thing that's crazy about this game is it is combining Captain America and Black Panther. Now, this would have to be King T'Chaka from back in the day, T'Challa's dad. And they did have some run-ins in the comics, which is kind of cool. And in fact, there was this old animated Black Panther like kind of cartoon thing that John Schnepp was involved in. Shout out to you if you know who John Schnepp was. May he rest in peace. Incredible nerd. But in that Black Panther animated series, you see T'Chaka and Captain America have a battle, and T'Chaka comes out on top back in the day. It was really, really interesting. But damn, dude, that's a really freaking cool idea to be doing a crazy game set in World War II, fighting against Hydra, where you can be Captain America and you can be Black Panther, and you can have, maybe some co-op or something like that. Like, this actually seems like a huge W, and something that the chat was really excited about. 4 heroes, so maybe there's like a 4-player co-op experience or something like that. We know very little about it, but people are pretty hyped up from it. The developer seems good. I'm excited about it. Now, this one I definitely want to talk about because, look, I would say probably everybody got in a little bit on the craziness that was Pokemon Go when it first came out. And apparently Pokemon Go is still happening, still has a pretty healthy player base, and it is a location-based augmented reality game with your phone. Now, Niantic is the company that made that game. So as soon as I saw this pop up, I was like, bro, what? Then they have this kind of trailer thing right here, okay? And you're seeing some kind of a portal or something happen. You're seeing this dude use a Doctor Strange spell. You're seeing this gal use the freaking Cyclops thing right there. She's grabbing Mjolnir. And then they're all like using their powers against, right here, it would seem to be other people. And again, like they have this portal kind of thing going on here, okay? Now, I want to talk about this for a second here because this is bananas. Look, there's different portals around the world, okay? So I'm just kind of thinking that this will be an augmented reality game coming from Marvel where you will be able to utilize powers from the Marvel universe, perhaps in some cool augmented reality type way, and do a lot of the same things that you do in Pokemon Go. These different portals are likely like raid events, and Niantic actually did a location-based game before they did Pokemon Go, and I forget the name of that game, but it was also really popular and people really enjoyed it. So they're likely bringing some of that into this game as well. But you combine the newest AR technology and how good that tech can be now. I mean, look at like crazy Snapchat filters and different things that you can do with augmented reality, and augmented reality is just going to go further and further. You have Niantic, who of course has made Pokemon Go. You bring in the Marvel stuff. I mean, are we going to see crazy things where like different multiversal versions of heroes or villains pop up and you have to defeat them to power up your character, your own powers? Actually seems pretty freaking cool to me. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. We Are All Heroes, the World of Heroes, coming in 2023 by Niantic. I'm going to go pre-register for that. That is freaking dope. But again, the problem is there's just so much goofy games and just stuff that I don't think is very, very hyped up. And you didn't get a look at anything Jedi Fallen Order 2. We didn't get any information about Spider-Man 2, the crazy PS4 game that we all freaking loved. I mean, at least if you've played that game, you love it. We know nothing about Insomniac's Wolverine. And so, look, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people are disappointed. I still think there are some cool things in here, which I did want to bring to you and talk about. But yeah, let me know. What do you think about the presentation? Are you super bummed out? Are some of these games freaking really cool to you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.